What's up, people? It's your boy Joel, and
Joshua.
welcome to another Flame and Thunder podcast. Episode 3 here again.
Yeah.
How was your month? How was last month for you?
Last month, the month of April, Easter month, was pretty good.
Yeah, Easter month.
Yeah, overall, there's just the thing of reminding or remembering the victory we have through Christ, and the lesson is that we should walk in that sort of and the truth that we should be celebrating that fact every day. It's not like just only Easter and we forget about that. But that's as far as that's how I
pretty much it. Yeah, April was my birthday. It was my birthday month. It was on the 30th of April, and that it was a pretty lit birthday. Coming to it because April is filled with
public
holidays, and so we are free most of the time. Just a break at school, and because at school they poured me with water, and it was pretty fun. And it was my birthday. It was pretty fun, and we ordered some takeaways and all that. Yeah, I ordered some takeaways. KFC all the way, and pretty good. And and did you know that before January 1st was before Jan 1st was the new year, it used to be April 1st.
Yeah.
And then when I think some Roman emperor changed the calendar, and so when people were like adjusting to it, and when April 1st came, and
some people were still celebrating as the new year. Then
they were called
they were like mocking them,
they were
which
mocking them.
later led to April Fools, as the people who were still celebrating on the 1st of April were referred to as fools. So which was a nice fact. Because I didn't really bag it.
When I told you.
Well,
And just overall, the best people come from April. All the people I met in life.
That's a load of baloney, and we both know
that. I'm joking. Do you remember the Katy Perry space thing?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've also watched some YouTube videos on it. There were like, I don't know, 5 ladies, give or take. And there was all this thing of, they said they went to space.
Yeah, I think the orbit.
But they actually, they're right. The thing was sort of like an Uber ride, more like 11 minutes type shit. They didn't do anything special.
It was an orbit. The mission was an orbit around. Orbit around was just
no, Joel. They just went up. Then they touched space. Then it came down. 11 minutes. That's it. That's nothing much. And it
were they like training for a mission?
When I heard that they were gonna do it like at first, which was like a bit like late-ish. Like maybe that's when they were like doing the launch. I thought maybe they actually trained for it, like months before. They were doing all these things and trying to see if they are if they can handle the pressure or gravity or things like that, like astronauts would. But you find out they just wore, and the suits that they wore, there's no astronaut alive who had the luxury of wearing the way they did.
Because you'll
like,
see them big
like it that looked like a bathing suit, or like something, just like photo shoot type shit. There's no way in hell.
I mean, technology has upgraded.
But like, there's no way. Like, even you could see, the You know, sort of their breasts, their chest are, you know, more or less open. You know, they've got their hair done, makeup,
everything.
and yeah,
Because I mean, like even just orbiting, like going up and coming down. It's even the fighter jets.
yeah,
The way they put on their gear.
yeah,
See, they have the tank on. They going.
they have all
they
these
reach like
yeah,
crashing speeds.
yeah, things that most people wouldn't. And even with like astronaut training, I've heard that it's like really intense.
Yeah,
because they have to handle everything at all corners, whether it's pressure, gravity, you know, the ability to, you know, still be alive even when you're out there. Like, compared to what these ladies, there's like a woman, I'm forgetting her name, who was an astronaut who stayed in space for like 9 months in the space station, and it didn't get as much craze as, you know, just a group of celebrities. You know? I mean, one of the women there was Jeff Bezos' wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, to give her credit, she's actually like a helicopter. I mean, a pilot for a helicopter. I'm saying she's a pilot, you know, a helicopter pilot. So she does. If we had to rate the sort of competence in that, let's say STEM, if we had to do, she's, let's say, more, not like, you know, she's competent enough to say that I
know what I'm doing.
She knows what she's doing because she's a pilot.
Okay.
Right. Of a helicopter pilot. Then the other lady she's like an aerospace engineer.
Okay. But would you just say it's Blue Origin, nah?
What?
The space
ship, or like the so-called
the company. I think Jeff Bezos owns the company. Yeah. Would you just say they just place them there just to be, you know, what is it called? Like, to say, okay, it's
marketing.
Legit enough.
Sort of like a marketing thing. Of course.
You know, remember those like dentist, those toothpaste ads?
Yeah.
Backed by science. You know, I'm a dentist. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I recommend this toothpaste for all my patients.
It's sort of the laws of persuasion.
Yeah.
Where you flaunt your sort of, you know, your expertise or knowledge on it, which makes people more inclined to believe you, or, you know, which would make them buy the product.
Exactly.
The same way, if you get into like a lawyer's office, or, you know, some sort of specialist office, there's always like their achievements or certificates on the wall. It's make you, you know, to make you say, I know what I'm doing. You see my papers? Yeah.
The best.
I'm the best.
Only the best.
Only the best. Yeah.
But remember when they went in space, when they orbited, they sort of
they barely they were like, okay, we can say they were floating.
I mean, okay, I heard this. If, like, let's say you and me go to space, would you look at the camera or you look at the Earth? Because, you know.
So you're saying that, you know, sort of side eye.
Yeah, because if we orbited Earth, like we reached like the highest atmosphere, I'll be looking down on Earth and be like, "Hi guys, the Earth is not flat."
But like,
I'll be like, "Guys, the Earth is flat. Confirmed, the Earth is flat." But I'll just be like, "Guys,
I get
amazing."
I get that, right? I get what you're trying to say. But remember, you know, I thought maybe, it also seems fake. But like, they didn't like get into space. Like I said, they touched space.
But they did like for like some time.
For like 3 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't like orbit in space. They were like, you know, that sweet spot between the atmosphere and just space.
Okay,
They were there. So that's what you could have and say, yeah, I mean, I get you saying that they should be focusing on like what's going on instead of looking in the camera and saying, hey.
But okay, for an example, the first time a person has been on an airplane, look at that.
Yeah, an airplane, because it's like,
your first time.
Yeah, you have to focus, man. You know, it's a new thing. You're thrust into the air.
You see, I'm sure each and every person, their first time on a plane is a special one, because they'll be like, wow, I'm in the air flying, and then if you're on the window seat, then even better, because
you look outside.
You look out, like,
yeah.
Wow. See,
yeah.
Even though you go there most of the time, you become a regular. Then you're like, okay, fine,
I get it.
Nothing special, coffee mediocre. That's when you can. that's when you can. I don't know. Look at your phone. Watch Netflix on this little screen there, and then I'll totally get that. But those ladies, the first time, like it's kind of like an exclusive thing that they just did.
Yeah.
So why not capture every moment? Not looking at the camera with a daisy, like.
And the way she was holding that daisy.
And the only way you'll do that is because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's a green screen. Why would you be like, wow?
Okay, I mean, green screen. Yeah, there's also been the theory that has floated around for the longest of time that the astronauts that were sent to the moon was also like phony. And, I mean, it has its legs, it has its legs, but like for now, officially, that did happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can choose whatever you choose to believe, but yeah. But for now, right?
Yeah.
The theory is, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who've debunked this and all that, but there's a lot of subliminal. How do you say?
Subliminal.
Yeah, like subliminal
images,
messages, sort of things.
Yeah.
Meant
to be there.
Yeah.
Remember
secret. Like,
the badge.
Yeah.
On Katy Perry's suit.
Everyone.
Like, you see, it's a rocket ship now.
Yeah.
And it says Blue Origin, right? But you see that it's like, remember those like arcade space shooters?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like that type of thing. I want to show it on screen. But when you flip it upside down,
it looks like it's what the face of what? Like, what is the thing called again?
The demon. Yeah, it's like a demon.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, you can tell that. Yeah.
If you just draw it.
If you align it, you can tell that. Hey yo,
man.
That's some bullshit,
PG, man.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, I feel crazy.
I feel like, and I think we all know this. Even with the same with like Lady Gaga nowadays, and just how like how celebrities are. I feel like it's become a trend to say that's evil. If I think they push it out for us to get like overstimulated. That even if we can tell that this is some real like some real evil things.
Yeah.
We could tell that. I mean, it's the usual.
Yeah.
It's the same way if you watch too much of something, it becomes, it doesn't like scare you, or it's comfortable. It gets to be comfortable. That's why many artists have had these sort of symbolisms of the devil or mocking God or things like that. And even though some people can tell that and are saying that, hey yo, that's some weird ass shit, that's not supposed to be there. Okay. But either way, they're still gonna do it because it gains attention. If you think of it logically, people are gonna talk about it, and that attention makes people want to go see it, and that making them want to go see it makes them more money. So yeah,
exactly.
In it's sort of like a marketing sense that makes sense. But like, in if you wanna go deeper, it means that they're just trying to like make us unfazed about it.
Yeah.
So when they pounce, we'll be like shocked. Be like, what the hell just happened? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the enemies, like a really good enemy, Classroom the Lead. You know, season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, season 2. I've been waiting for it, but I heard that,
No,
like,
not season 2. Class. What's this?
Class
Year 2.
Year 2.
Year 2. Not
Oh,
season 2.
Funny.
Like
Sorry for
season
that.
1.
Yeah, the
2.
season 1, season 2, season 3.
Yeah, was all about year 1.
Year 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Year 2. It never came out. I've been waiting for it, but
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming out this year. I forgot the date, but they did release like a few things we can expect, like the animation, how the characters look like. It looked a bit different, you know. It looked like it was missing something, which got people a little concerned. But even though, so
I saw you reading the manga.
Yeah.
Wait, the way they drew the characters, was it different? The way
it's different from like, you know, the anime.
Yeah.
Like
No, like the way they drew them.
Yeah.
Was it different in the sense that the same? Is it different? The same as Year 2? Like the way they drew the Nakoji.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can tell that because it's different. I mean, some characters changed maybe because of hairstyle and all that, but you can tell that this one is this person, this one. But like in terms of the art and like what you see, the manga, the light novel, or the anime or whatever adaptation, it's all gonna be different. You know, the manga, you know, it's a like a nice difference because it's more, it's much more appealing.
The manga,
you can tell, like, if in terms of the drawing, it's clean drawing. And you know, in terms of the adaptation, you know, the art styles are different. The way they tell the story is also different. But like usually the best adaptation will be the original source, which is like the light novel. And there've also been like other adaptations which were not faithful and which are faithful, but in the end the light novel is the most, I could say, is like the best adaptation because it has depth. It has depth of the main character, you know, Hanakoji, or you know what he is. He's not like just some machine. He's just a guy. He's like the main character with depth. You understand who he is. You know, the anime. He's like strict. He's not like, you know, we could tell that.
So in the manga, he was like a bit more.
It's a bit more loose, you know.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes you can, okay, let's say, for example, when other people get phased, you are unfazed. But there's sometimes where you'll be like, where, you know, he's phased, or, you know, he overstepped a little bit, you know. You can tell that, you know, there's a difference.
Or maybe, do you think it was the way they produced it, or it's in that sense that when you read it, it's different?
Yeah, in the sense
the
that
way you act it out, so
yeah,
the way you perform it with like actual visible actions, it's different.
Yeah, like the same thing was like Solo Leveling. If you think about it, the manhwa and the anime is like different because Jinwoo, right? Sung Jinwoo in the manhwa.
Hey everyone, just pausing the conversation for a moment to shine a light on the brand that's sponsoring today's episode, Unforsaken Apparel. And it isn't just about clothing, it's about a powerful message born from a deeply personal journey. The founder, Carson Young, shared how his brand emerged from a time where things felt like they were completely falling apart for him. He puts this way: there was a time in my life where everything fell apart and I was kicked out of college. I lost my home, I was sleeping in my car some nights, crashing on my friends' couches. I was completely lost, but there was one thing that kept me going in silence. It was God. Even when I felt He wasn't there, I started to realize Jesus made me quiet, but He was never absent. That powerful realization, that presence, even if it was quiet, that is the heart of Unforsaken Apparel. It's built on the foundation of faith and the message from 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 9. Persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. Each piece they create is designed to be a reminder that no matter what you're facing or you've seen, you're loved and you're truly not alone. Message of hope is resilience. If Carsten's story and the mission of Unforsaken Apparel resonates with you, I encourage you to check them out. And a special thanks to you, my listeners. You can get a discount on your order just using the code FNTPOD. You can also find their collection and support their mission by clicking the link right there in the description of this episode. That's Unforsaken Apparel. Wear the message. Share the hope. Use the code FNTPOD or hit the link in the description. Now, let's get back to the show. And to be honest, I like these two, including the cap right there. You can get it in multiple colors, and then I was really surprised. These two bangers.
Even with the chapters, there's a lot of chapters. But if you like watch the anime, you can tell that, oh, they skipped this part. Oh, they just mixed all of this into one episode. Let's say 3 chapters into one episode. So the speed is like fast. Sometimes, like I said, even like in Classroom of the Elite, the manga, there are other characters who've been given like the spotlight for you to understand them as a character, while sometimes in the anime it's just rushed. You see. So that's why sometimes I know Koji himself, like in the anime, he's just sort of like this, guy. But compared to like the light novel, he lacks the depth of like a character. The light novel, the one that I'm reading, is like the manga or the light novel. I'm not too sure what the difference is. But like you can tell that once you read and once you like follow, it's much more, because sometimes it can be rushed. Like I said, even with like Sang Jinwoo, Solo Leveling, the manhwa showed Jinwoo as like an emotionless guy. Right? He like crossed the line. He lost his humanity in a sense. While in the anime, he was more, even though he noticed that he did cross the line a bit. He noticed that, but he was able to at least feel the emotions of those around them. There was like a scene where he's like, his friend said he wanted to like come in to like sleep over because he needed a place. In the manhwa, he said like no. But he was saying that he showed emotion. He just showed more emotion. It was just that subtle. It's the subtle difference. The same way we know, like the book. Let's say a book of a cartoon, or a book, or a movie that was adapted from a book. It's just different in terms of appeal. Like, even if you have to, if I have to go like more in depth, if you notice that Solo Leveling, right, in the manhwa, like Chai and the love interest, right. If you notice like the way she's like drawn or whatever, she's much like, her chest area is much more small. It's like smaller in size. and chest area was small. But like in the anime, they made it like large and appealing. Because they're trying to appeal to a certain class of people. It's
but I think it's just the from the comics or from the written side to the production side. Change a lot of things changes.
a lot of like I'm saying, a lot of things change. The same way in the manhwa, like you would enjoy it because they have a lot of comedic scenes where they like just break due to like some sort of misunderstanding or where one of his like shadows would do something funny, then he'll be like, "Hey, yo, man, stop! Hey, wait, like, relax. It's done. We killed the guy. Okay." Then you'll be like, "Wally." Then you'll be like, "Man, come on." Just those comedic reliefs. Even some of the shadows would be like celebrating, like, yeah,
in Solo Level,
in the manhwa. Yeah, even in the anime, they did a little bit of that, but
not as much. Yeah,
they did a lot of aura farming in the anime. They were trying to, it, bro. If we all saw it. It broke all the records, like #1 anime, and it broke its own record. It broke the record, and each episode broke its own record.
Yeah.
So it's just aura farming. It like we were with Jinwoo there. Yeah. And it made it feel like we also solo leveled.
Yeah.
Which is like sort of like the drawback. Or the dark side to it. But
now in the Asian market, the Asian markets are like really increasing because the technology, and remember speed, right? They remember Mr. Beast when he went to Dubai. He was like exploring Dubai.
Yeah.
He made a video on Dubai, like
then the last thing he did was
$1 experience versus like a lot of money experience. Yeah. And then it was actually they paid him to advertise. Yeah, they paid him to advertise
Dubai. Yeah.
Dubai. Also in Egypt. It's just when you was exploring the pyramid, it wasn't like he discovered anything new.
Yeah, it was just the simple thing. He was just Mr. Beast doing it himself.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Because the minister of
I don't really know.
The regulator for the place even was there with him. So it's just even with actual speed, his streams.
Yeah.
He went to China. You see, because I think it's kind of unraveling the propaganda. Because if you see the US media when depicting China, it's just some strict 1, 2, 1, 2, compared to like Chinese media show or promotes them, like the way the Chinese media show China. It's totally different. You'll see them color as it really is. It's color. A lot of technological advancements, if you look at it like that. A lot. Because speed, like the city at night, glowing. The people there are actually funny. Yeah.
I mean, it's just media as a whole was created as a tool, to control the masses and all that. Yeah. I mean, the US, we all know what the US have done in the past when it came to, propaganda and all that. The same as most of other countries in the world. Yeah, I mean, China itself can't like say that, hey, I'm a dictator, unless they want to be like North Korea. But But this is like a whole other rabbit hole. But even with going back to like the topic of manga and anime,
It,
like the way they do it, even with like romance or sci-fi, they target like a certain demographic of people or the audience. Like if you think of it, right, they this thing of like divide and conquer, it doesn't like really work. If you like make an anime to like please everyone, you will have less success.
okay.
But if you target like this group and you can estimate, okay, we can estimate like between this and this, and we can
Yeah, I
look
think.
at that and say that's our goal, and if we achieve that or do more than that, that's
Yeah, I think that's what I'll say. The Asian market, Japan, or China, or no, just
yeah
their anime markets, their manga market. It's growing because there's people like that. Let's say a a a what is it called? A media company. Like, what's media company is it?
media, like in terms of manga,
Anime
like
company.
Funimation or
Yeah,
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll produces their own thing.
I don't know,
Okay,
but
for
I know
example,
I think they've bought
mhm,
like companies who make anime,
mhm.
and I know there's other anime.
Okay,
Like
fine. Okay, let's take Tokyo 7. That's the one I remember.
okay,
In its departments, in its company, there's different departments,
yeah,
different production houses that help with the with each anime.
yeah,
With ones mature, PG, from horror to adventure, and they put out every single day. I think because I think in Hollywood there can be 5 major ones, like
yeah,
put out a lot of money. 5 major ones, like through the year, that you'll bag, you can say off your tongue, that like came out and you watch. For an example, the Minecraft movie, uh, you know, these movies with big actors, a lot of money, and then in the sense that it doesn't really reach everyone, you
yeah,
know, because they want to put something that pleases everyone or just doesn't please anyone
like at all.
at all. See, but with anime, you get that if you want an adventure thing, there's dozens, from popular to just something, creative wise.
Yeah, in general,
Mm-hmm.
anime, anything.
Yeah.
When you are looking for like an anime to watch, you just check your genre. If you're interested in horror, action, adventure,
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi, slice of life, romance,
Mm-hmm.
even shonen, or things like that.
Yeah.
Military, martial arts, everything is in a category.
Yeah.
You can go for the ones that are banging or trending
Yeah.
to the ones that are interest you.
Interesting. Exactly. See.
And yeah, I'm not really sure how we got to talking about anime, but like yeah, in that sort of sense.
But okay, to end it off, you remember? Do you know Enzo Ferrari?
Enzo,
Yeah.
yeah, the founder of Ferrari. It's in the name.
Yeah. He has a reincarnate. Yeah. Enzo Ferrari has a reincarnate, and I'm sure you know who he is.
No, I don't know. When you told me that, I was like, you know what? That's a lot of baloney. It's just someone who looks like him.
Yeah,
Then
but look,
if he's then some guy was like, "Hey, yo, you look like the founder of Ferrari." Then
yeah,
everyone
but
was like,
it's
"Pam pam."
it's a splitting, and it's a guy that I'm sure everyone knows, but not these days, like the past 5 years, and I've never heard of him, but I've never seen him, but you know prime 2018, 2017. You remember like the striker for Arsenal?
Özil.
Yeah, Özil. Yeah, Mesut Özil.
Yeah, Özil, the guy who played for Arsenal. Yeah, like famous footballer. He also played for Real Madrid. Like this guy was also like a talent of his own. Yeah. That type
Okay.
of,
Anyways, but if you look at the pictures side by side, especially they're like the pictures where they're like young.
yeah.
Especially what's his name? Enzo Ferrari's picture when like he was a bit young, and Özil.
Old picture. Yeah.
We put them side by side. Like they actually look the same. I'll put it on screen, but like because Enzo Ferrari he died like pretty old, like August 14, 1988, somewhere in Germany, I think. No, in Italy. And Mesut Ozil was born October 15, 1988. Same year, and in Germany, so in the city in Germany. So I'm sure, like
I mean, okay, that can have his legs because it's on legs because the guy dies in 88. Then Ozil is born in 88, so you can use that. But I mean, like you come across there's this guy who looks like Justin Bieber. We all know he's not Justin Bieber. Impressions of him.
Yeah.
There's also a guy who looked a lot like Messi.
Yeah.
But we find out he's like from, I don't know, Iran,
Turkey.
That area, and there's also there are people who look a lot like if some guy had to be famous today, right? And maybe let's say a few years down the line, they'll find someone, who look exactly like him. Like this, like the Egyptian footballer Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, but
there was a guy when they entered the stadium. He was just watching, the Egyptian team play. Then the other guy's like, "Hey, yo, you look a lot like Mohamed Salah," and he went with that.
Yeah,
and these guys, they go with that and they make money off of the name.
No, but listen, I know those are called doppelgangers.
Doppelganger.
Yeah, but this is he died, he's born. Get it?
Okay.
And then they look the same. Like I'm sure. Remember this picture of this other actor? He's a black actor, right? And then like years before, there was a dude that looked like him. I think was it. I forgot. I don't remember. But if I do find the guy, I'll put it on screen. But yeah, I'm just saying, he died and he was born. It's kind of like that, reincarnation. Instead of I did the motor industry, now I'm gonna do the football industry. There are double gangers in life where you look the same.
But how can we say he reincarnated?
It's just a fan theory, nothing major. Even him, even Ozil, he knows that this they asked him. It's just just a little joke, and then
I mean,
nothing serious.
If we, I mean, it wouldn't be like if I were to create, or if I was first one to notice, I wouldn't say like he reincarnated. I'd rather say that are you like his son, But like we'll see whether maybe we can, if Oslo did football, right?
Yeah.
And maybe let's say his kids, maybe his son or daughter, or his grandson or daughter, maybe they'll dominate the motor industry. And if they do, then we'll know he lied.
Okay.
Then, we'll know that
Yeah, it's just pretty much a joke at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I know Ozil probably. I mean, like with anything, it comes with like the territory, in a sense that there's always gonna be, even if it's not like, even if it's not like fun, we could say like it comes with like the critics or the haters, but sometimes it comes with like the jokes as well.
Yeah, it's just jokes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you once again for listening once again. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah,
Comment, really comment. We're still new, we're still pretty slow in like recording. Yeah, so sometimes it helps the feedback,
yeah,
so we can learn and grow and
learn
give
and
you
grow.
guys more quality content.
Only put out content that you would like to see. That's what we live by. So yeah, all that good stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, Flame and Thunder out.
God bless.